express, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Talladega Super Speedway for the round of 8, race number 2 of the round of 8 of the 2017 Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by Our Expression. Yeah, you heard me right. Talladega, it's the biggest, it's the baddest, and it's the unpredictable racetrack in NASCAR racing, as of course, it is the unpredictable race of the round of 8, as I'd say the round of 12 had Martinsville as its unpredictable. Actually, not Martinsville, excuse me. Yeah, it was Martinsville. The round of 12 had their unpredictable race. Now round of 8 gets theirs, and that's Talladega Super Speedway. And Dave, welcome to Talladega. This is a big, monstrous Talladega. And oh yeah, I forgot to introduce all ourselves here. I'm Tanner Sharp. This is David Everly. And Dave, Talladega, 33 degrees of banking, high banks. You're flat out in these cars. You're utilizing that draft. This is a 200-mile-an-hour chess game. What do you know about the Talladega today? And give us our little race details and that little weather we were talking before we went live.
Well, like you said, it's Talladega. Anybody can win. It's all about the draft, the draft, the draft. That's right. It is key to be in the draft. As you said, it's a 200-mile-an-hour crapshoot here at Talladega. It's going to go to the driver that stays clean, stays mean, and moves up into the front and is in the front when they cross the start-finish line. Tonight's race, second race of the round of 8 for the Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by Our Expression and Upper Edge Racing. Taking a look at tonight's weather. Looks like it's the track is a warm one tonight, 78-degree air temperature, but that track temperature, 104 degrees, wind out of the north at 2 miles an hour, partly cloudy conditions there, Tanner.
Yep, so the weather is pretty much a default setting, but it shouldn't bother these guys all too much. Maybe you might see some tire wear just here and there, but I would assume under a green flag pit stop condition, these drivers are going to try to take at least 2 tires or gas a tank just to save time on pit road. And that's another thing is pit road. You can't beat yourself on pit road tonight because you're transitioning from 200 miles an hour all the way down to 55 miles an hour, which is the pit road speed limit. Now, I have seen multiple times, and I've also have pitted with other drivers, and they've all started crashing like crazy. I'm actually pretty good at pitting here at Talladega because I'm always getting on the binders coming off the turn 4 and getting it down as closer to that inside wall as much as possible. As qualification starting right now, but I'll continue here about pit road here. I'll get down to that inside wall to try to avoid any kind of contact with another driver so no driver runs me over behind. And I can see where other drivers are trying to get on pit road, but a lot of times when you're trying to get on them brakes, you get on a little too hard, you're going to either spin out on pit road or overshoot pit road into the grass area, which can mean a black flag on iRacing. And of course, you can't speed on pit road, nor can you slide through your pit box, man. It's going to be on ice skates when they try to get into their pit box here tonight. So with that being said, we talked about the track, we talked about the weather. Now let's talk about the drivers. We have 8 drivers currently contending for a championship right now in the round of 8. This is the second race of that round of 8. Carl Shed will advance to the next round of the round of the round of 4 next, I believe. The round of 4, which will consist Michigan, Phoenix, and Homestead. So those 3 races you'll be racing for points, which I do like. It's like the old classic way, but nonetheless, Carl Shed won Texas. He's advancing. He's currently your championship leader, so Carl Shed can really go up there and challenge for the lead, go 3 wide, go 4 wide, do whatever he wants. And he crashes, it doesn't affect him because he's advancing. Michael Laraya is going to sit second in points, 5 points behind Carl Shed. And Shane Tyrion, third in the point standings, 6 points behind Michael Laraya. Walker Thomas, 9 points behind Shane Tyrion in 4th. Joseph Tice tied with Walker, 9 points back in 5th. Corey Hoover is he's fast, but he hasn't visited victory lane yet. He's 6th in the championship, 11 points back. Joe Lawrence, 7th in points. He is 12 points back. And Ryan Dyson, 8th, the bottom of the barrel, 20 points back. So I would say, hey, I could probably try to pick a winner here, Dave, but I just threw out that statistical sheet because I'm usually looking at stats of drivers every single week. Well, I threw it away because we're talking Talladega today. It's either you're going to hang out in the back and wait for the big one to happen, or try to run up front, lead the lead laps, and just try to stay up towards the front and be in position to try to capture that checkered flag and be there at the end so you can have an opportunity to win here at Dega. So, qualification happening right now, Dave. So far, it's a little. We're in the early stages of it right now. Tommy Amassi, driver you don't see on the pole every single week, is so far currently on the pole. Lap times when you're in the draft, you're going to be running at least low to mid 48s. But tonight it's single car qualification, 5 minutes for 2 laps. So right now, Joshua Adams just notched up on the board in the 88, and I believe the virtual fans just got off their seats to see that. Actually, that just really flipped right now. Joshua Adams got down to 8th. Philippe Rodotich, I apologize if I have the name incorrect, goes on top of the board in the number 31 machine. Right now in qualification, they run mid 51 second lap times here at Talladega. So huge difference from when you're in the draft. Carl Shed, championship leader, 3rd so far. I'm seeing Joseph Tice in 7th. Michael Laraya is in 8th. Dyson currently Ryan Dyson in 9th. So some championship drivers starting the top 10 so far, Dave.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've only got another minute left here in qualifying. These guys usually do a group qualifying, but here at Dega, it's a single car qualifier, 2 laps, 5 minutes. So, yeah, let's see how this is going to turn out because I think this is going to be a great race here tonight.
This is going to be definitely a good race. You know, Talladega races on iRacing are one of my favorites to drive and watch because, as we said at the top of the show, a 200-mile-an-hour chess match. What kind of moves are you going to do? And you got to be careful. Another thing when you're out there on the racetrack is netcode. Netcode can be a real, really play a factor in these plate races. I do wish, I don't know if I don't think with all the coding and the physics of iRacing, I think netcode will always forever be there. But it'll be nice one day if technology really immenses of iRacing to where we don't have netcode. But it is what it is today, and a lot of iRacers and sim racing guys and race fans enjoy the sim. All right, so we got 1 second actually. So qualification has now ended. Dave, that being said, Joe Lawrence, championship contender, will sit on the pole tonight. He's going to be on top of the charts. Philippe Rodotich is going to start in second. Again, I apologize if I have the last name incorrect, but if anybody can help me out with that, that'll be perfect for tonight. Not really good with name spelling tonight, but Joshua Adams, I'll do my best on everybody. Joshua Adams is going to start in third tonight. Riley Grant Davis will start in fourth. Carl Shedd round out that top five. Hey, nice to see that 24 Chase Elliott paint scheme out there, going to run up towards the front tonight. Justin Munsell is going to start in sixth. Jacob Adams, seventh. Michael Fennelson in eighth. Nick Massey in ninth. Joseph Tice is going to round out that top 10. Michael Laraya is going to start in 11th. Ryan Dyson in 12th. Austin Hartenfels, 13th. Tom Bourne will start 14th. Jamie Dyson will start in 15th. Bradley Burke in 16th. Robert Kenny, 17th tonight. Marvin Wingfield in 18th. Tommy Imasi, the last driver to take a qualification time, will start in 19th. Rounding out the top 20, Corey Hoover. Shane Terrian and Corey Hoover are championship contenders, so Shane Terrian starting 21st. Walker Texas Thomas Ranger, I like to call him, is going to start in 22nd tonight. Bronson Stafford, 23rd. And Corey Blevins rounding out this 24-car field that's scheduled here to start Talladega tonight. All right, folks, so they're going to get one pace lap around this 2.66-mile super speedway of Talladega, and I'm sure all you folks out there know about Talladega or heard about Talladega in some way, shape, or form. The big one can happen at any time. Go single file. Heck, these guys can decide to play it safe and ride on the bottom line, just run single file. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we see these guys mix up. These guys are pretty good at mixing it up on plate tracks. And if you're already forgotten, earlier this year at round one of Daytona International Speedway, the Daytona 250, they went caution free, Dave, and I know you remember that race by heart.
Yeah, they did. They put on a heck of a show. I'm looking for the same thing here tonight. These guys have been running together all season. Should be a nail biter.
Yeah, it definitely should be a nail biter for sure, and I'm already biting my nails because I'm just curious on who's going to be in trouble by the end of this race, because we're not done with the round of 8. Join us also next week live here on the Dre Broadcasting Network, the Loudon 250 at New Hampshire, a track that's very tough to pass at. That's a blown-up Martinsville in a mile track way, and they do call it Martinsville on steroids. So New Hampshire will end the round of 8 next week. So that's going to be a very interesting race here.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, that's for sure. But all these guys, except for Carl Shedd, they're wanting to get out here, come away with that win, and go ahead and lock their way into the round of 4.
Thank you, Philippe, in the chat here tonight on helping me out with your last name spelling there. Sorry, I'm not used to seeing you out there every single week. I usually have these names written down, and I do have a name pronunciation also for every driver, and your names just wasn't on my list here tonight. But nonetheless, good luck out there, buddy. We'll see you running up towards the front. That is Philippe in the 31 machine as pace car is down pit road. Here we go. It's going to be Joe Lawrence leading them to the green flag in that 78 machine. And Joe Lawrence is about 11 points out from the race lead. Bringing them down real slow. Here we go. Green flag. We're racing at Talladega.
Yeah, as you hear those V8 engines kicking, they are roaring, getting up to speed as they are trying to get up here. Right now, it looks like Joe Lawrence on the inside, getting a great push from the 88 Joshua Adams. Phillip there on the outside is getting a good push from the 24 Riley Grant Davis as these guys are staying double file right now. I just can't wait to start seeing some 3 wide.
Radocic is actually having a pretty good run. Coming off turn number 2, he's getting a nice, good push there from the 24 of Riley Grant Davis. Coming through turns 3 and 4 for the first time tonight. Coming off turn 4 for the first time here. Radocic is going to be, he might actually be into the line here because he got another good run on corner exit. Joe Lawrence is going to fight back. Coming to the line, it is Philip Radocic. Wow. Leading the first lap at Talladega. That hot line. Oh, look at that. He's going to dump the 24s. That's okay, though. Sometimes it's every man for themselves out there. If anybody ever watches like wrestling, you know how they always say every man for themselves. Well, Phillip did what he had to do, is that's jump on the inside row. That outside row can be very tough drafting plays for these Gen 6 Cup cars. They're not like the Xfinity cars or the trucks, as we still remain 2x2, and that 2x2 starting with third on back.
Yeah, it usually takes a couple laps for that outside lane to kick in, but I tell you what, the 24 there, Riley Grant Davis, not giving up. He's got Justin Munsell, Michael Laraya, Michael Fennelson's out there. Nope, Michael Fennelson just dumped down into the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these drivers are dumping it to the bottom right now. It's all Philip Radocic out front here at Talladega. Joe Lawrence is in second on that inside row. Joshua Adams, the 88, on that inside row. And Riley Grant Davis is the first car on that outside line, operating that outside line. But he doesn't have a lot of help. He's got a car behind him for help, and that's Justin Munsell in the 2, the Coors Light Ford. But it's just not a lot of help. Oh, somebody jumped up there. I think that was Hartenfels, Austin Hartenfels.
Yeah, I mean, 4 cars compared to that inside line, you can see they just don't have the speed as the bottom line does right there.
Showing Corey Hoover's actually not in the session here tonight. That's a championship flag right there. But I tell you what, Dave, guess what? We still have all 23 cars in the lead draft. Battle up front shaping up. Joe Lawrence. This is pretty much just how we started. Philip Radocic and Joe Lawrence out front, except Joe Lawrence was on the inside row. He was the pole sitter. He's going to be challenging for that top spot. He's going to get a help in the punt and the push here, trying to get them to the line from Riley Grant Davis. Oh, we're going to wreck. Here we go. Big accident. Caution is out at Talladega.
Yes, we pull up the Dre broadcast and replay. That started up front. I think that could be the big one here. Let's take a look here as we are going to focus on the leaders where it started here, as they were side by side coming into turn number 1. There was some contact there between Joe Lawrence and Philip Radocic. As Radocic goes up and Lawrence and the 54 involved. So that's going to be Lawrence, Riley Grant Davis, and the 54 machine of Tom Bourne all involved in that.
Dave, do you have an onboard of, by any chance, of Marvin Wingfield getting through that?
I believe I can pull that up here. Let me take a look here. We're going to go on the in-car here with Marvin Wingfield.
Folks, you got to watch this. And Dave has not, and I know, Dave, you have not seen this yet.
Oh, Days of Thunder. Oh, that was Days of Thunder coming through. Let's replay that one more time for the folks at home. But Man, that was a Days of Thunder. Couldn't see nothing, smoke, and then just almost hit the car.
I'm trying to get a good camera angle on my end here to see if there was any kind of contact. Believe it or not, there wasn't. There's no contact, Marvin Wingfield. That's some great camera work, Dave, as well. Good job here tonight. Well, at least we bring some excitement to you folks at home on some onboard, at least an onboard camera of getting through that incident. But man, what I really saw right there, Dave, was what happened right there. From what I've really seen, was Joe Lawrence was getting a good push from the 24 car. 24 car looked like he made a last second decision to pull out, and when he did that, his nose slid across the back bumper of Joe Lawrence. And when that happened, it got Joe Lawrence, it got Joe Lawrence's car itself upset. Not the driver, just the car upset, because you're coming out of 16.5 degrees of banking of that tri-oval. And when that happened, it just launched down into the door of the 31 machine. And that 31 machine's of Philip Radocich's car just kind of stuck like a magnet. At least that's what I've seen on my end. But a lot of heavy hitters out of this race. Joe Lawrence is one of them, and that's going to hit him in championship contention. He's going to have to go to New Hampshire and try to win that race.
Yeah, most definitely. So this is going to shake things up, though, because there's still a lot of contenders left in the race.
All right, trying to see here, Dave, who's all made pit stop, who all taken advantage. I know there's a lot of cars on pit road under this caution flag, especially for the ones involved. Riley Grant Davis, Joe Lawrence involved. Just trying to see here, getting all my notes here ready to go, plus my live timing and scoring's acting up. There we go. So far, Michael Fennelson, Ryan. Okay, so here are the drivers that stayed out. And if your favorite driver in this league if I call him out, that means he stayed out. If I did not call him out, that means he pitted. Joshua Adams stayed out. He's going to be your race leader. Austin Hartenfeld stayed out. Jacob Adams, Corey Blevins, Marvin Wingfield, Walker Thomas all stayed out. Everybody else pit. So where Walker Thomas is right now, he's currently should be 7. According to my live timing and scoring, he's the only car that stayed out. Everybody else behind came in. Drivers like Michael Fennelson, Ryan Dyson, Jamie Dyson, Justin Munsell, Carl Shed, Michael Araya, Nick Massey, Joseph Tice, Bradley Burke, Tommy Amassi, Shane Tyrion, Philip Radocic, that's very unfortunate right there. He was running pretty solid up towards the front. He's going to have to restart in the back of the pack. Robert Kenny back there and Bronson Stafford, all these drivers have pitted. All right, so go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, though, I mean, the only thing is, I think Philip Bear, he's got some damage, so that might affect his drafting, too.
It can, because aerodynamics on a restrictor plate track means the world. I mean, it is your best friend, hands down. So hopefully he's able to stick with the lead pack. I'm not seeing any major damage. If anything, it's just pretty much right rear quarter panel damage, but anything towards the front of the car looks good. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as this race goes on. Keeping an eye on the pace car. Pace car lights are still on, Dave. As Talladega pace laps, they're going about 65 miles an hour. That's pace car speed is 65 miles an hour. So we're going to remain under caution for another lap yet. All right, I don't think fuel is going to be a concern here tonight. And folks, tonight we're driving for 100 laps around Talladega. So it's a little more than 50%. 50% of an actual Talladega race of NASCAR is 94 laps.
Yeah, but, I mean, they're still going to have to worry about fuel because one thing you don't want to do here at Talladega is pit by yourself.
You don't want to pit by yourself. That's exactly right. You don't want to pit by yourself. If anything you want to do, try to draft with somebody. If you're drafting with somebody, you're actually saving gas because you can go about 3/4 throttle and still stick with that guy ahead of you. So, I mean, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's if I mean, that really is if, we have green flag pit stops, though. And if it does come down to that, then you'll see the radio be really blown up. All right, comes turns 3 and 4. Pace car lights obviously are going to be remained on. We'll have to see at the start-finish line this time by to see if the pace car lights are going to be turned off. And I hope they're turned off because I like to get back to green flag racing and seeing these boys go at it again.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that was an unfortunate incident. Luckily, it didn't take out a lot of cars, so that's one good thing because that did happen up front. I've seen it. Wrecks here at Talladega happen up front, and it can take out over half the field.
I like one of our viewers' comments about that incident. All he said was, ouch. Hope everybody's enjoying tonight. Feel free to chat with us all race long. We'll be checking in from the chat now and then. Really don't have any trivia questions for everybody. Everybody knows about Talladega. Everybody knows everything about Talladega. There is a room.
There's probably some things we could stumble.
Well, I'll have to. All right. Well, when I get the chance, I'll dig in my mystery bag. We'll see what we can pull up. All right, pace car lights are off this time by, so that means double file restarts here at Talladega for the Upper Edge Racing League, the Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by our Expressions. Go back green flag racing for the second time today. We've only seen one caution so far. Hopefully we keep it nice and green here, boys. Hopefully. I mean, you hear it all the time from spotters when they spot drivers at Talladega, and you try to tell the driver to calm down. That's probably the worst thing you could say. All right. Man, that pace car. I wish that's one thing about iRacing too is I kind of hope they up the pace speed at least to 80 miles an hour.
I don't know. I found me some interesting facts. We'll have to have a little quiz here with the fans later on, Tanner.
All right, Dave. I'm just gonna say I'm kind of looking up my stuff myself while we're waiting for the pace car to get us to the start-finish line here. And so here we go. Pace cars in this time by. As you will focus on that, Dave, I'll bring them down to the green flag here. So, all right, here we go. Joshua Adams, Austin Hartenfels, 1-2. Jacob Adams in third, Corey Blevins fourth. Marvin Wingfield at top 5, and that was a pretty good wreck avoidance by Marvin Wingfield. We're getting a little separated, but we're back green flag racing. But as I say, getting a little separated, and they'll be coming right back to each other. Top 3 cars, single file on the bottom line. Hartenfels dropped in. It was the driver that dropped to the bottom. Nothing. Everybody a little spread out here. Let's kind of give them a lap or two to get them up to speed to see what they can do out there on the track. And the virtual fans in the stands are up on their feet because there's an 88 car out front, a familiar number out front at Talladega. It's not Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's Joshua Adams.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's getting ready to go single file here, yeah. The entire field now is single file, Tanner.
Yep, now it's playing follow the leader right now, and look at this long snake coming to the start-finish line as Joshua Adams has now become the Pod Piper of Talladega.
Well, I mean, that's actually kind of a smart decision there. Just kind of run single file, let the race play out, try to do maybe some pit strategy. So, I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt running a little single file action here at Talladega.
Doesn't hurt. But some of these drivers, I just wonder which driver is going to get bored of it and try to pop out of the line and say, man, I'm bored. I'm going to pop out of the line and try to make something happen. But so far, it's all single file. And I mean, every single car is single file on the bottom side of the racetrack, hugging that yellow line. Go below that yellow line. That's out of bounds. Cannot pass below that yellow line. 11 laps completed. Off turn number 2. Looks like we got a couple of teammates there up towards the front there, Dave. I got the 88 and the 8. And the iPower or iBuyPower machines up towards the front. Pretty cool paint schemes for both of those drivers. iRacing RRM. That's their. I'm trying to figure out what RRM would stand for. Maybe I can check that out. But they're up front. They're leading Talladega. Now I want to see here where those teammates actually line up on that restart. Well, it's funny. They were actually lined up nose to tail. 8 car of the Jacob Adams was lined up with the 88, so that was a pretty good. That's teammates right there, working together. That's how you win plate races, is winning together. Got to have help. Still remain single file. The race is currently led by the RRM boys up front. That is Joshua Adams in the 88, Jacob Adams in the 8. Austin Hartenfels. Somebody said in the chat, Rubbins Racing Motorsport. Thank you very much for that. I like that team name, Rubbins Racing Motorsport. That's awesome. Good luck, Josh, Jake, and Nick. He's talking Nick Massey. The only Nick I'm seeing in the field. Just making sure. So Nick Massey, I believe, where's he at? Nick is 12th. Riding single file.
Well, take a look, though. I just now noticed the 33 of Corey Hoover. It looks like he missed the start, but he is out on the track. Unfortunately, 6 laps down, so he's hoping on some cautions to get some of those laps back, get back on the lead lap. But he is here for the race, trying to collect those valuable valuable points.
Philip Radocic has actually tried making something happen on the high side of the racetrack, but could not. Doesn't have any help. Nobody wants to go. And yeah, you're right. Corey Hoover missed the start. All he needs is 6 cautions and staying out of trouble, and he'll be back on the lead lap contending for the win. So far, we remain single file at Talladega. Oh, someone popped out of line back there. Who was that? Oh, we might get some more drivers popping out of line. Who's popping out of line back there now? Laraya, Michael Laraya. He was 11th. And he's getting drafting help from Joseph Tice. I do believe those drivers are teammates as well. And we got more drivers popping out of line. See, I told you these guys were going to get bored driving that bottom line the entire time.
Yeah, they're getting out. They're trying to get that Justin Munsell. He's running up. Well, he's switching back and forth. Just wasn't close enough to get any draft. But they're trying to make that outside line come to work, try to move their way to the front.
Marvin Wingfield jumped out of line, but really didn't have any help, and he still doesn't have a lot of help up there. It's a little ways back to Michael Laraya, so he's going to go back until he falls into the clutches of Laraya back there. So far, unless they decide to take him 3 wide and just dump him, there's another driver that could be coming out towards the front. Looked like Hartenfels looked like he was going to, but nothing produced up towards the front. We'll keep an eye on the back here. I'll let you know if someone pops out of line up towards the front. So far, Marvin Wingfield's got a group of drivers on that high side of the racetrack. Those group of drivers consists of, led by Marvin Wingfield. Then you got Michael Laraya behind that. Joseph Tice is behind Laraya. Bradley Burke behind Tice. Corey Hoover behind Burke. And that's pretty much it. Right in the back of the pack is Philip Radocic. They're trying to get something going on that high line. Justin Munsell looked like jumped out of line to jump right in front of Wingfield.
He did. That's going to move us up to a 6-car push there on that outside lane. Looks like the 14, he is going on the outside as well. So we're getting more and more jumping up as nope, he's going to drop back down underneath.
If I was that 48 car back there, I would try to jump right in front of him. Just try to make some momentum. That way you can get up there with your 2 teammates. So far, that outside line's kind of coming slowly but surely here. What happened to that outside line? It just dissipated. It didn't go anywhere.
Well,
so
we
far,
still got Marvin Wingfield, though. He's trying there on the outside. Justin Munsell, he's still on the outside. So that outside line, I mean, if they don't run it, though, it's going to be a while before it comes into play.
Nick Massey actually thought about going to the outside line, but he still might. I don't know. But he thought about it. If he can jump right in front of that, too, if they get that power push down that back straightaway and he jumps right in front of them, he can get a good push entering the corner. They're coming up on some lap traffic. Joe Lawrence is going to be the first driver there. Almost close quarters contact back there. A little of use of a little side drafting. So far, it's a 3-car tango on the top side of the racetrack. Everybody else single file on the bottom side. Nothing producing up towards the front. Joe Lawrence very high above the racetrack, staying out of the way of the lead pack. But it's still all Joshua Adams. Here we go. Now we got some players hopping up towards the front. That's going to be led by the 28 there. Oh, and the Carl Shed jumped back down towards the inside. Man, a lot of mind games going on in this mid-pack. And that Ryan Dyson up there is leading that outside row. There's a lot of mind games. You know, you're making somebody believe that you're going to go with them, and all of a sudden, the person behind you is going to jump back down to the inside, leave you hanging, and then you're being picked up by somebody else. I told you, folks, this was a 200-mile-an-hour chess match.
Yeah, it looks like that outside line is starting to make a little bit of headway, though, as it's being led by Dyson there. They're starting to make a move towards the front.
Starting to make a move towards the front. They're coming. They're actually really coming. If they can get legs down the back straightaway here, they should be side by side with Jacob Adams in the 8 car. Let's see if they get a huge run on the corner exit here. Coming. Nothing really producing. Needs a bigger push. So nothing so far. The top 2-3 drivers still remain single file. It is a side-by-side battle between Ryan Dyson and the 25 of Corey Blevins. Dyson's going to need a real good push. He's got the drivers to work. It's just a matter on you got to stay hooked to that bumper, but at the same time, you're managing your temperatures. Still trying to come. Now they're if they can get legs down this back straightaway right now, get side by side. See this here. They got past Blevins. Here they come. Nice big push. Here they come. Yep, now they're on a roll.
They just needed that car to fill the gap there in front of Marvin Wingfield. That's going to be the 11 of Jamie Dyson. He's going to be jump up there. That's giving that outside lane that good push because here comes Ryan Dyson. He is door to door with Joshua Adams as they are coming down the dog leg to the start finish.
Yeah, for the lead at Talladega, Ryan Dyson versus Joshua Adams coming to the line. Oh, ever so close.
Yeah, Ryan Dyson just edged him out. Question is, he's now cleared him. Is he going to drop that outside line, go down and protect that inside, or is he going to stay with him? I think I would have dropped down because I tell you, I mean, if you start holding up that outside lane.
Who blinked out?
That looked like Joshua Adams and Jacob Adams. Looked like they both blinked out. But Ryan Dyson's leading, but now he's being challenged by Justin Munsell.
16th 1,000th of a second. Dyson beat Adams to the line last time by, oh, we're 3 wide. We're putting the 2 car in the middle. That's Corey Hoover, who is multiple laps down. But I tell you what, he's utilizing a lot of drivers to get him towards the front and trying to fight for his laps back. But it's going to be kind of hard to do at Talladega. Munsell is in the middle. He's in trouble. He tried to lead a lap, but now he's just getting freight trained at Talladega. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to my right. Here I am, back, until you find a place in line, and they might think about put Corey Hoover in the middle. They thought about it. I don't know. It looks like the high line's now leaving that. Oh, yeah. 4 wide now here. Oh, my God. We're 4 wide. We're making contact. Oh, easy, boys. Beating and banging. What the heck? 5 wide. 4 wide. Excuse me. Austin Hartenfeld's really got the worst of it there, though, folks.
I think somebody forgot to tell him it's only lap 24.
Holy moly. Oh, we're wrecking. We got big trouble. Huge accident at Talladega. This is taking everybody out. We got the 11 car up and over. That's Jamie Dyson. Oh. In my mind, I didn't think that was going to last long, but I tell you what, as a race fan, that was really unbelievable to watch. Well, Dave, I do believe there was some pushing involved on entrance of the corner. What did you see?
Well, taking a look here, I'm not quite sure. I just seen cars getting squirrely there. It looked like some contact there, maybe some side drafting, but the 11 of Dyson, he's on his roof. Oh, a lot of cars get tore up. Oh, we got to go check this out. The 5 of Joseph Tice. We have to go on the end car because it almost looked like another Days of Thunder there. So let's get it here in the in car. As he's rolling through this wreck, as it happened right in front of him, but somehow he was able to miss all of it.
Continue what you're doing, Dave, on camera work. But I was wondering if we can pull up that replay one more time and really see what happened, because I do believe there was a lot of net code involved, especially between the 2 car and the 11 car.
Yeah, so we're going to go to another camera angle. We're going to take a look here. Yeah, it looked like a little bit of net. Yeah, that was net code there, and that just started a chain reaction.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that is the 20. What all started about that was the 20 on entrance corner. 25 looked like he hit the left rear quarter panel, but I do believe if any of these drivers do watch the replays or save any of these replays within the sim, if they really look, there's not really much contact. There's a little gap between the 25 and the 88 on the quarter panels there. And it just sent the 88 right around, but I for sure saw net code between the 2 and the 11. Talladega, man. Talladega net code.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cars down on pit road trying to get it banged out and get fixed up there.
And that is our second caution of the evening here tonight at Talladega, Dave. So now I'm seeing drivers. Ryan Dyson is the one that let him down. Looks like Jacob Adams survived that incident there, but Dyson is actually going to take 4 tires. And right now I'm seeing 4 tire pit stops from everybody here at Talladega. That was probably a good opportunity to take some tires as well.
Yep. And it looks like Ryan Dyson, he is going to lead off of pit road. He is wanting to come away with the win tonight, secure his spot into the round of 4.
Oh, boy. That was really fun to watch. And as you said, it was only lap 24 at the time, but it was really fun to watch. But if it wasn't for the net code, I think these drivers would have been doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, because I'm taking a look at the points after Texas last week. Ryan Dyson was 8th in points. He was 20 points back from the leader, so he's just wanting to go ahead and get that win and walk out of here, and knowing that he has that spot. Also, right there in second, Jacob Adams, who is actually not in the round of 8. Robert Kenny, also not in the round of 8. So, I mean, that's the thing is these type of races, you have your 8 that are fighting for the championship, and then you got everybody else, but they're all mixed together.
Carl Shed was involved in that accident, but he won Texas, so he really doesn't have too much to worry about in this race. But a driver that does have to, two drivers that do have to worry about a lot and try to win this race is Walker Thomas, who stayed out to try to stay up front for track position. Could be it could be a strategy play. Otherwise, he's going to come down pit road this time by. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And how about Ryan Dyson, championship contender, getting by that incident?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's the hard. I think that's one of the hardest things here at Talladega, is getting around the accidents that happen. I mean, you are almost 200 mile an hour. You have to have split action. I mean, just to try to get around them without getting taken out.
I think we're going to have another caution lap here, Dave, for Talladega, which is going to be an extra lap around this joint. Yes, we will. Another caution lap.
Well, while we're under caution, I am going to scroll through the field here. We're going to take a look at some of these paint schemes for the drivers tonight. Right now, taking a look at Ryan Dyson. He is in the LRR machine, looking really good with that blue paint scheme, Jake. Jacob Adams, he has got that iBuyPower machine right there sitting in second. Robert Kenny across the stripe. Look at that paint scheme. The colors green really makes it pop. Good looking car there. Joseph Tyson, the Proto Simtech machine. Philip Radicek, he is in the Pilot Edge. Shane Tyrion in the Evil Motorsports Nationwide machine. Looking good with that paint scheme. Nick Massey, he is in the white and black iBuyPower machine. Michael Fiddleson, he has got that pink navy Mobile One machine. That's a good looking car right there, Tanner. Carl Shed, he is sitting right there in 10th in the Chef Andy's machine, looking good there. Bronson Stafford, also from Evil Motorsports, has got the Evil Motorsports Navy machine. Michael Lariah, he is driving the Lowe's Cobalt. Tom Bourne, he's in the G Fuel machine right there. Jamie Dyson, he's in the R Expression. Got some heavy damage, but a good looking paint scheme nonetheless. Austin Hartfield's in the AdamsPolishes.com machine. Justin Munsell, he's got that Coors Light machine. I think he's got his mountains a little blue on those cans, so he's ready to rock. Tommy Amassi in the Lake Murray Cornhole LLC machine. Looking pretty good there. And you got Bradley Burt. He's in the Pro Bass Shop Jags and Tracker Boats machine. Marvin Wingfield looking good in that orange and black. Joshua Adams, sitting down on pit road, heavy damage in that iBuyPower. Same with the 25 of Corey Blevins. He's in the Blevins design, but it's down on pit road. Corey Hoover with the Hunt's Brother Pizza machine. Look at that. Good looking paint there. Then Joe Lawrence, heavy front end damage on the MRE, the McCall Racing Entertainment ENT machine.
Good looking paint schemes here tonight at Talladega. Awesome paint schemes. I'm always interested in looking at paint schemes, and I'm a guy on iRacing doesn't like driving the same paint scheme every single week. I mean, it has to be a really good looking paint scheme for me to drive at least every week. I can do like at least 2-3 weeks in that same paint scheme, but I gotta change it up. That's just a preference of mine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually the same when I race. I've got my cars that I use, but looking now here, though, we've got 72 laps remaining here at Talladega. Lights are off. We have a lot of damaged cars out there, so I think we're going to see some cars that are going to be losing that draft because I've seen a lot of cars with a heavy front end damage.
Yeah, and those guys, we've already seen Joe Lawrence get passed a couple times, so we've seen the results of that. So we got a lot of heavy-duty drivers who are going to try to do their best to stay within the draft. We'll see how this is going to play out here once we go green. All right, folks, buckle them up for the third time tonight because we're going to take the green flag for the third time. This will be the second restart of the evening. We dropped the green flag. We had one caution. Now we're under another caution. So 2 cautions for tonight. Pace cars getting ready to dump down pit road. Ryan Dyson going to start out front. Jacob Adams going to roll off in second. And here we go, coming to the green. Waiting for the leaders as we're going up to speed. Green flag. We're back racing at Dega.
Yeah, but look at that. 8 of Adams. They're getting a good run, but he has a lot cleaner cars there behind him. It's the 10 machine of Robert Kenny. Looked like he had a little bit of front end nose damage, but he's starting to catch up to the 28 of Dyson there to give him a hand. There's only 3 cars on the outside. That's going to be Jacob Adams, Joseph Tice, and Shane Tyrion.
Look at Jacob Adams going for the lead on the high side of the racetrack at Talladega. Up on the high side. He's going to drop it towards the inside. He's going to try to secure the race lead. Now what is the 5 car going to do with Joseph Tice? He's going to have to go back up here and try to get a little help back there. Who's that back there? Who is behind that Joseph Tice? My camera ain't... That's the 38 machine. That's Shane Tyrion. He's a championship contender. Oh, Shane Tyrion's like, I'm going to cop him down to the inside. He still doesn't know what he wants to do just yet. He's going to make the decision to stick to the inside. So that's going to throw Joseph Tice. And look at this, Dave. Circle him. Where'd he go? Yeah, circle him right now. Number 31. Philip Radovich. Top 5. Currently 4th right now. He's back. And he has not given up.
No, he has not. He has fought his way back. He is now sitting in the 4th position. He wants to get back up front. He wants to get back out and start leading more laps. But as we said, we're pretty single file here. It looks like, one car shuffled out. I think that is going to be Robert Kenny. Yes, it is. The 10 of Kenny. He is going to shuffle out with no help behind him.
No help behind him. There's some help up there. They might take him 3 wide. Hoover's going to go with him. We're going to put Kenny in the middle. That would be the 18. That's Walker Thomas. Oh, Shane Tyrion. He sees what's going on. He's going to go to way high side. He's going to hop right in front of Thomas. Jacob Adams still leads at Talladega. Hey, there's Nick Massey in the top 5 now. Massey's going to pull out.
Yeah, Massey pulls out, but Corey Hoover drops down into the inside lane.
I don't know. They're getting a pretty good push in that higher line now. They got some help. Oh, there goes Dyson. Ryan Dyson's going to hop out of line. He sees the activity.
Yeah, he's going to use that 48 of Massey. Or the 48 machine, he is going to use that to get up there and try to get in front of Adams. But, man, that inside line just doesn't want to give up.
It doesn't want to give up. It's been the strong point of tonight's event, but that high line has seen its strong points as well. You cannot deny that higher side of the racetrack. It's Ryan Dyson. You get that nice push. You get the right group of guys, the good amount of group of guys on that high side. Can make it work, and it's very possible to do so. Ryan Dyson battling Jacob Adams for the top spot, coming to the line. 27 thousandths of a second. Jacob Adams led that lap by.
Yeah, I mean that outside line, but the only problem is they lose a car dropping down to that inside, so it's just going to be Dyson, Massey, and Shane Tyrion now. Is they're trying to make that outside line work, but it just doesn't have the cars to make the push.
Yeah, there's 3 cars up there right now. Looks like they're slipping back. Here's Philip Radovich right here. He's in second now. Right behind Radovich is actually the 5 of Joseph Tice. And guess what? The 33 Corey Hoover did get a lap back. Last caution. I do believe he took the wave around.
Yeah, he's sitting at 5 laps down. Jamie Dyson, he's 4 laps down. And that's the last one.
Oh,
Tommy Massey, he's the last on the lead lap right now.
tight squeeze for Ryan Dyson to get to the inside row, and the 33 of Corey Hoover did cut him some slack, and we're back to single file.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now will be a good time to go ahead and take our first commercial break of the evening here, as we are in race 2 of the round of 8, the Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by our Expression, Upper Edge Racing. We'll be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to the 2017 Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by Our Expression. We are in the playoffs for this series, the race number 2 of round of 8. at Talladega Super Speedway. Jacob Adams is out front. As you've seen on commercial break, they did get a little dicey, but now we're getting a little bit more relaxed now. Jacob Adams is out front. Joseph Tice is in second. Nick Massey's in third now. Ryan Dyson in fourth. Walker Thomas for that top 5. 2 drivers in the top 5 are contending for that championship. Right now, Michael Fennelson is not in the championship hunt. He was eliminated after the round of 12, but he still is trying to rack up some wins on his resume. Robert Kenny was a championship contender. He's not in it anymore. He's in 7th. Shane Tyrion, a championship contender, is still in it. He's 8th. 9th place, Philip Radocic is in 9th. And Michael Laraya, a championship contender, rounding out that top 10.
I think right now, Tanner, I think what we need to do is give these viewers at home a treat.
Oh,
that's right.
Yes.
We're going to the speed cams. Turn it up. Let's hear these engines roar.
Love the sound and the roar of the engines when they come through at Talladega every single time. Always gives me a good old feel of watching NASCAR on Fox. But hey, you're kind of watching that. You're watching a little bit of NASCAR stock car racing, and it's the Upper Edge Racing League on the Dre Broadcasting Network. We're single file right now. Every single driver, those top 9 drivers are single file. Michael Laraya and them drivers have lost the lead draft. Laraya was being pushed by Justin Munsell. He still is. But those drivers like Laraya, Carl Shedd, Justin Munsell, Austin Hartenfels, Bradley Burke have all lost that lead pack. Bronson Stafford and Tom Bourne, they're actually about to go a lap down here, Dave. They're just ahead of the race leaders. They tried sticking with the lead pack. It did not happen. It did not work. So they're going to try to fight here to try to stay on the lead lap. But here comes the lead pack in a choo-choo mode. The choo-choo train's coming through. And they're going to swallow them up right now. That's about a good 5 to 10 mile an hour difference right there.
Yeah.
Leaders are going about 188 miles an hour to the leaders is 199. That's a 10 mile an hour difference.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, you got to look. These guys have been 20-some laps since their last pit. We are coming up on the halfway point. 54 laps to go. 4 laps until we hit the halfway point of tonight's race. So, just about anything could happen, though. I mean, but I don't think we're going to see any more cautions because they're just running single file.
Yeah, I totally agree. So that just if we do run green flag racing, we'll see a green flag pit stop for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
I tell you right now, I have an issue with going from pit stop here on Talladega because, like you said, you're going from almost 200 mile an hour down to a pit speed of, I think it's what, 50?
55.
55. So you got to go from 190 to 55 in a very short period, and you got to do it without locking your brakes up. Because you lock your brake up, you're going to lose control of your vehicle, and that's going to cost you.
You ever see how I did it, Dave, doing pit stops on a green?
Yeah, I've ran with you a few times and we did pit stops together.
I'll be honest, and I'm not to brag about anything, but I very seldom wreck getting on pit road. I just do. Because I get close to that inside wall without hitting it, because if I just don't go towards the inside wall, there's a chance someone's going to run me over from behind, or I got to get on the binders as quickly as I can. I spin on my own car. So it's just a little more of a safe assurance there, but plate racing is just not easy. Looks easy, but it ain't.
Oh,
There goes
I agree.
Corey Hoover. There goes Corey Hoover a lap down. Another lap down, actually. Corey Hoover, he was 5 laps down. Now he's going to go back to 6. He had no drafting help from anybody. So Corey Hoover's pretty much going to need to bust out a win, realistically, if he finishes the way he is tonight, because we're going to be eliminating 4 drivers. I would try to at least go to New Hampshire and just bust out a win as much as I can, just so I can assure myself to that next round.
Yeah, because, I mean, otherwise you're going to have to go in on points, and taking a look at our point standing right now, I mean, Carl Shed's the man out front in points. Michael Lariah is 5 points behind. Shane Tyrion in third, 6 points. Walker Thomas fourth, 9 points. Tied with Joseph Tice, he's 9 points away from the leader. Corey Hoover's 11 points, sitting in 6th in points right now, 11 points behind Carl Shed, so...
Okay, so with that being said, Dave, read me the final 4 drivers, like from 8th, or from 5th to 8th.
Well, Joseph Tice, he is sitting 5th in points. He is at 2,039.
Okay, 2nd on the racetrack he is, so far he's okay.
Corey Hoover, he is 6th in points. He is 2,037 points, 11 points from the leader.
Currently 17th on the racetrack, 6 laps down.
Joe Lawrence, he's sitting 7th in points. He is 12 points behind the leader.
He's on the track, but lost a lot of horsepower after that first caution of the night. Currently 20th.
And then you have Ryan Dyson. He's sitting 8th in points, 20 points from the leader.
Currently 4th on the racetrack, running single file. So, with that being said, the drivers we named off, and one of those drivers is Joe Lawrence. I'm concerned about Joe Lawrence entering New Hampshire. If it sits right now, he's going to lose points today to drivers like Joseph Tice, drivers like Ryan Dyson, Walker Thomas he'll definitely lose points to. Realistically, he will lose points to Corey Hoover, because Hoover's 17th, Lawrence is 20th, so that's 3 points right there. So, and what was the separation between Hoover and Lawrence? Hoover 6th. Oh, they were all a point separating each other. So realistically, Joe Lawrence would lose 2 points to Corey Hoover. Actually, if it finished right now, Lawrence would be on the bottom of the barrel. So Lawrence would probably more than likely would need that win at New Hampshire. But I can't confirm all that. I'm just trying to do math in my head while the race is going on, as we're still running single file up towards the front between the top 8 drivers. A driver who did lose a draft, as you probably know that I said 9 earlier, but a driver that lost that lead draft is Philip Radovich he's getting some help and a push from Tom Bourne, who's a lap down. There is a blinking car back there, and that is Bronson Stafford. So far, it's stabilized. Championship's going to look very interesting, I'd say, when we enter New Hampshire, Dave.
Yeah, it's. I mean, a lot of drivers are going to have to win to be in, basically.
I'm going to say at least 2 drivers are going to need a win and you're in. And at least the other 2 drivers, mathematically, they can get in on points, but I'm sure they would love to have a win.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely agree with that. But taking a look here, right now being led by Jacob Adams, leading 24 laps here tonight. Let's go ahead and do a mid-race race report here, because we've got 47 laps to go. We've had 2 cautions tonight for 6 laps. Our fastest lap of the race, a 48.013, set down by the 39 of Bronson Stafford. And we've had 5 lead changes here tonight, Tanner.
5 lead changes tonight. Holy cow. I figured at Talladega we would have more, but nonetheless, Jacob Adams has been pretty much the class of the field. He's been running up front. And Rubbins Racing Motorsports has been the Pod Piper team of the night, because you gotta remember, we did see Joshua Adams lead a good portion of the race, and now it's Jacob Adams. I think there's a relation between the drivers, though, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's see if we can get the viewers in tune here. I got a question here. Most Talladega wins, NASCAR Cup Series history. Tell you what, can anybody out there name me the top 2 drivers with the most wins here at Talladega in NASCAR Cup history?
Okay, so it's not a number. So we're not saying a number. We're saying top 2 drivers that have the most wins in Talladega history.
In Talladega NASCAR Cup Series history.
I know.
I have a feeling you know, Taylor. Because if you don't, you're probably going to get smacked by some of your friends.
More than likely, but I mean, they always come to me for the NASCAR questions, because I'm always going on websites was it one of them's called Racing Reference? If anybody knows, racingreference.info. If anybody heard of that? I'm always looking up statistics on them websites. I'm just a nut about that.
Alright, I got something for you. Let's test your knowledge here, Tanner. Why these guys all running single file. Let's test your knowledge a little bit.
About Talladega.
Well, NASCAR in general, but pretty much Talladega or a restrictor plate. Ready?
Okay.
Give me the driver that has the most restrictor plate. So that's Talladega, Daytona. Most restrictor plate race wins.
Career win-wise.
Career win-wise, yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Career-wise, Talladega. Now, do non-point races count?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think these are actual NASCAR Cup sanctioned race points races.
Well, before I get to your question, I do got to document one thing on Tapping on Track. Lariah on the bottom is now lapped. Carl Shed and Justin Munsell. Those drivers were running. They don't really have any damage, but they're running. They're now lapped down. So those 3 drivers I named off, they're fighting for the lucky dog if a caution would happen. But right now they would have a lead pack here to work with. Very interesting. I do see Philip Radocic in turns 3 and 4 has now found some drafting help where he's going to decide to push Corey Hoover. That would be a pretty cool combination right there. But nonetheless, it's all Jacob Adams up towards the front. Nobody is going to pull out and challenge. I think everybody's really content to stay single file. I don't know. Might be some drivers might want to come out, hop out of line there, and try to play a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Sprint 4 need to get hooked up, because right behind them, they got a 5-car push there. So that second group there that's broke away, I mean, You got to be careful because they can go zooming by. They got that additional car. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if they're going to go for the outside, if they can catch that front four, or if they're just going to stay in line and push.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just a matter of when you want to make that move. But I think these guys are going to think about a little bit of a fuel strategy or go down pit road for the pit strategy one final time before we see the checkers. But actually, we might see at least 2 more pit stops because we're already going to be hitting 40 laps to go here, Dave, coming to the line this time by. So, and how long has it been since we last seen a green, or it was what, 34 laps ago when I last visited pit road, and I was under caution. Take about 2 laps away from that. So, actually it's 35 now, but I'd say 33 laps ago was when we went green last time by. So, if we can make it in the window here of 35 laps or less, we'll be good to finish.
Well, we are 40 laps to go, but
yeah.
Let's go back to that question, though. You didn't answer me. Most restrictor plate race wins in NASCAR Cup Series history.
Okay. If we're talking points races only, Richard Petty.
With how many?
How many? Well, he had 10 at Daytona. And if I'm not mistaken, he had like 2 at Talladega. So that's 12 races. Am I correct?
Not. Well, these are okay. Let me rephrase that. Since 1988, okay, 1988, what driver has the most restrictor plate race wins in NASCAR Cup history?
1988. Since 1988. Wow. I want to say Dale Earnhardt.
You're close. Jeff Gordon with 12.
Jeff Gordon.
Dale Earnhardt had 11. Junior has 10.
Okay.
But
wow.
Let me check the chat here. Did anybody answer? We got a couple answers out there in the chat. Let's see. We've got one that says Dale Jr. and Dale Sr. Another one said Dale Earnhardt Jr. One says Dale Sr. Jeff Gordon. All right. So, the answer to the question, Abbott, or I think that's how you pronounce your name there. Abbas, you are correct. It is Dale Earnhardt. He has got 10 wins here at Talladega. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in second with 6. 16 wins for that family at Talladega.
And I do got to add to that, Dave, is that there is a tie for the second most wins at Talladega. And there's drivers in the chat that are getting it right, and that is Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. both have a combination of 6 point race wins at Talladega.
Absolutely right. Seeing if you were going to catch that.
Yeah.
Very
good job, folks. All right, so let's get back about upper edge here. We're still remaining single file here, folks, with Jacob Adams being the Pod Piper of the first 7 cars. Right now, Fennelson. Oh, Fennelson's in trouble. Fennelson's in trouble. What happened to Fennelson, actually? He actually just wrecked coming off turn number 2. And it did not bring out a caution because he spun out on the back stretch on the apron of the track, took the whole nose off. How did that even happen?
Well, let's pull up the instant replay here. Looks like he was actually down on the apron, letting the faster cars go by, and he just was riding around the apron there, made contact with the track, got squirrely, and tried to save it, but it just eventually came around on him. So yeah, he went through the grass there.
He wrecked beforehand too, just before that happened, and he was running a straight line in the middle of the corner, and all of a sudden he just started shaking the steering wheel. I mean, I can see the emanation in the virtual cockpit of the emanation driver shaking the wheel, And when that happens, that's what the driver's actually doing. Shook the wheel and just wrecked.
Well, I got to hear on replay. Yeah, maybe the back end started to kick out and he overcorrected.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it could. I don't have an explanation on that, but we do got problems on pit road because the leader's pitted and Jacob Adams just overshot his pit box just by a little bit, and he had to back it up. How much time is that going to cost him on pit road? Well, it's going to cost him a lot of time because everybody pitted, and now he's the last driver to exit pit road. Just a very little of an overshoot of your pit box where you just got to back it up just a split bit. Costs you that much time out there on the racetrack. Every single driver, I believe, just pitted. That was in that top 7.
Well, actually, guess who the race leader is right now? That is Philip Radicek. He is leading right now with pushing Corey Hoover, but he's also got 40 laps on his tires. So
yeah, he's going to have to pit. Yeah, he's going to have to pit, absolutely, Dave. But look at this. Also, Ryan Dyson, he's getting picked up here from Robert Kenny. Robert Kenny, good to see Robert up towards the front here. They got a huge gap over third back there, which will be third once we uncycle pit stops. Joseph Tice is leading that pack, followed by Walker Thomas, Nick Massey, and Shane Terrian. And Jacob Adams, just that little bit of an overshoot of his pit box cost him a lot of time. He is begging. He's trying to catch that draft up there. Race leader did pit. Lariah actually did just pitted. Michael Lariah still remaining 1 lap down. He's getting some help from Carl Shed. They've been working together. Now the where did Philip? Philip, where is he on my? Oh, there he is. To say where in the world did Philip go, but no, he pitted. So, and now it's going to hand over the lead to Ryan Dyson. So that we just seen our final green flag pit stop, and Philip Radocic hit it all alone.
Yeah, it's going to drop him back to 8th. He's going to be the last car in the lead lap. Jacob Adams, he's running here at the end of the group with Shane Terrian, Nick Massey, Walker Thomas, Joseph Tice, as they are catching up on our front 2 runners, which is going to be Ryan Dyson and Robert Kenny. So we got 5 cars to 2 cars. So, this is going to be interesting when they catch them because we are looking 33 laps to go.
I'm not going to repeat this. I know where Michael Fennelson, where he got that reference from. he knows what I'm talking about. But this is something to really watch right here, as we're going to be concluding coming to 30 laps to go, not this time by, but the next time, actually two more times by. Right now we just completed 32 laps to go, as Ryan Dyson, Robert Kenny knows the tail. Now here's the question. Can Joseph Tyson, them boys, that is a 5-car pack, can they gun down top 2 driver? I'd say yes.
Oh, they are. We were just looking, it was over 3 seconds. It's down to 2.3 seconds. So, I mean, they are just chewing away. They are coming in a hurry. Taking a look here right now. Tice, he is running about 195 mile an hour. Dyson, only 192, 193. So, big mile per hour difference. Doesn't seem that big, but I'm telling you, that's a big gap in speed out here on this racetrack.
Yeah, they're going to be coming, and it would not surprise me if they try to overtake the lead here when they do catch them. Let's see, 191 miles an hour is Ryan Dyson. Robert Kenny's 192. Joseph Tice, 194. So 2 mile an hour difference between those drivers as they go down the back straightaway. So yeah, they are catching. I just want to know, are they just going to settle in line and wait to settle out for about 30 laps? Or just go ahead and try to pass them?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, 31 laps remaining as they come into the line. That'll be 30 to go. We're going to go ahead, and I am going to go ahead, and we're going to go to commercial break here on the Dre Broadcasting Network, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Dre Broadcasting Network as we bring you Round 8, Race Number 2, Talladega Super Speedway, the Profile Machine Products Cup Series powered by our Expression and Upper Edge Racing. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway for the Upper Edge Racing League's Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by Our Expression Round of 8, race number 2 of the Round of 8. As we do have a whole lot of jostling for the lead, we do got a new race leader. It is Walker Thomas out front, in need of a win. Was being challenged by Nick Massey, lost a little momentum on the high side, but not giving up. But for the first time today, that 48 and the 8, they're teammates, Rubbins Racing's Motorsports, up towards the front, and they're working together for the first time today. Those two drivers are actually working for the first time. It was the 8 and the 88 until there was an accident earlier in the race today that took out the 88. Right now they're falling back. Now in that group, up towards the front here, we do have a lap down driver, and he's multiple laps down, and that is Corey Hoover, 4th in line on the inside row. Everybody else in that mix is actually on the lead lap. Oh, trouble! Corey Hoover going around from Joseph Tice. Uh-oh. No caution, though. We remain green.
All right, let's pull this up on the replay.
And he hit him again. Actually, Hoover did hit Tice.
All right, let's take a look here at the instant replay. Let's get a close-up here of Joseph Tice. Corey Hoover running up front as they are running single file here. It just looks like a bad push. And the 5 and the 33 go around. We're going to stay focused on the 5 here. Looks like they're going around, and then looked like Corey Hoover just lost it as he was trying to get back on the track, make contact with Joseph Tice again, and both vehicles smoking.
Tell you what, you can bump draft somebody, but you cannot bump draft anybody on a quarter panel. That's been not just documented in real life NASCAR, but also on the iRacing forums. I've seen drivers and sim racers and iRacers talk about it, about tapping in the quarter panel that just sends a driver right around. So definitely a costly mistake for Joseph Tice. He tried getting back on the track, but just had a looper around there. But it's still Walker Thomas. We still remain green flag racing. There is a driver smoking here, and it is Corey Hoover, almost getting onto the racetrack there. He's going to bring it down pit road here, and Joseph Tice and Corey Hoover are still in contention for the championship, providing if they realistically win. Tice was going to be okay if he ran where he was at. Corey Hoover missed the start of the race and needed a lot of work to do, but he's really going to need a lot of work to do entering New Hampshire. All right, so with that being said, you take two cars out of that equation for the lead, you get 5 cars left. And 6 cars remain on the lead lap with Robert Kenny in 6th, but he's on the back straightaway with no help.
Well, he's got a couple drivers that are coming up on him, so maybe they'll work together. That's going to be the 39 of Bronson Stafford. So he's got possibly some help coming to him as they're getting into draft. Also going to be the 54 of Tom Bourne. So maybe they'll give him a boost to try to keep him on the lead lap here. Lap 82 of 100. 19 laps to go, being led by Walker Thomas.
Yeah, and I think Robert Kenny has some damage. I do see some nose damage on Robert Kenny's car, so that's very unfortunate. But the winner for sure, unless we get some kind of caution flag that might bring drivers back into the mix. Otherwise, out of these top 5 drivers right now, it's going to come out of one of these top 5 drivers, the winner. And which one will that be? I don't know. But we'll find out in about 18 laps from now.
Yeah, because I bet you at least with 2 or 3 laps to go, we're not going to be single file racing anymore.
Oh no, I mean, and there's no caution, and there's a question in the somebody, the great one, that's his username in the chat here, says no caution. Yeah, no caution there. The reason why that is because on iRacing, usually all accidents to bring out a caution have to happen on the racetrack itself. Specifically Talladega. Any activity that happens below that yellow line and you spin and you're wrecking and it's multiple cars, and nobody comes up on the racetrack sideways or anything like that, iRacing will not throw out a caution. The league officials, however, can throw a caution if they want, but most leagues that I know of will use the actual iRacing caution system.
Yeah, so, I mean, I kind of like that with iRacing, though. I mean, if it's off the raceway and isn't impeding, I understand, though, some drivers, they don't like that because, you know, they could have a chance to repair that. But then again, I mean, it's not on the raceway and you got a good race that kind of gets those cautions, man, drop the wind out of you when you have a good battle going on.
Yeah, and you know, when you see in NASCAR on TV, and one car spins towards the inside, and he just spins on the apron of the racetrack, doesn't hit anything, but he just spins on the racetrack. Usually, NASCAR will throw a caution. And 9 out of 10 times, it's more just of a safety concern. Again, tonight, we're just sim racing, so there's really no need for throwing a caution if one car spins, but that's just the way iRacing is just all set up with the coding and the software itself. But it is what it is for those drivers, and they'll have to try to knock it out of the ballpark at New Hampshire, try to get a win next week. All right. I think they thought about going towards the front. Shane Tyrion at least thought about it. And looked like he had some helpers, but he just did not trust it. But in this top 5 pack, I want to circle the last 2 cars. Rubbins Racing Motorsports. Circle those 2 cars. I think they can work together. I think there's teammates among between the 38 and the 28. I got to double check on that. Everybody's making me wonder here because do they have a team pay? Yeah, they do. There we go. Where's the 38? 38 and the 18 are teammates, and they are up towards the front.
Well, I mean, you got to look at this too, though. The 48 and the 8, they're not running for the championship.
Nope.
But Walker Thomas, Ryan Dyson, Shane Tyrion, they're battling to get the win to get basically winning in for the round of 4. So we've got 3 championship contenders, 2 that are not, but 2 would still love to come away with that win, and their teammates. So that's another kink that might come into this here at the that stretch. Maybe that team would rather see one other driver get in, but what driver would it be? Could it be Ryan Dyson, as we've seen him come in the late season, getting a win and getting into the chase? So this will be interesting, Tanner.
Yeah, absolutely. And that 18 car of Walker Thomas and 38 of Shane Tyrion, that's evil motorsports right there. Those 2 drivers are teammates. The back of the pack drivers, those 2 drivers in that last pack, the 8 and the 48, is Rubbins Racing's Motorsports. Those drivers could be working together. Now, Corey Hoover is a teammate to the 28 car of Ryan Dyson, RCA Racing. So that explains right there why Hoover was up towards front. But we got a battle for the lead. Here we go. We got Evil Motorsports running up towards front. Oh, caution on the speedway.
That's going to be the 39er Bronson Stafford.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is heavy-duty damage.
Well, let's take a look here, focusing on the 39er Bronson Stafford. He was running with Robert Kenny and Tom Bourne, and then just contact. And unfortunately, that collected to 31, a Rodchick, who is 1 lap down. So unfortunately, he's not going to get the waiver round.
He's not going to get the waiver round. He was eligible for the waiver round, but he was involved in this accident, and I don't think he's not going to get it. Oh man, that was just a bump drafting going wrong from the 54 machine of Tom Bourne into the 39 of Bronson Stafford, and once that 39 went around, it just door slammed into the 31. And I tell you what, that 31 doesn't have a lot of he does not have a lot of damage on that thing, but he's not going to get the waiver round though.
No, and look, I mean, we've got 12 laps to go here, so we're going to go green with probably about 9 laps to go.
Yeah, give or take. These caution flag laps have been kind of gruesome for these drivers out there, and I'm sure, Fennelson, when they were under caution, I'm sure he could probably back me up on that. That caution laps here are just cruel to the drivers because you're only going 65 miles an hour, and it seems really slow at a place like Talladega. I don't expect anybody to pit here. Oh wow, they are all pitting. Holy cow! Well, if they're all pitting. Nope, never mind. 48. Who actually just? Yeah, they're all pitting. This is going to give drivers who are at least a lap down the wave around. And I tell you what, if Philip Radocek can stay out, he can collect that wave around despite being involved in an incident.
Yeah, that's going to give the opportunity to Philip Radocek, Michael Araya, Carl Shed, Tom Bourne. That's going to give them guys, if they stay out, a chance to get back on the lead lap. That's going to give us 10 cars on the lead lap.
Oh, that might actually messed up the 31 car. Philip Radocek, he was coming, but Joe Lawrence blew his engine right in front of him coming into the tri-oval and forced the 31 to slow down as everybody that pitted beat Radocek to that pit line. So Radocek has got to stay behind these drivers. Whether he's going to get the wave around or not, I don't think he will.
Oh man, that
looks like they're letting them go by. iRacing is actually letting them go by. Yeah, that's true. Maybe not. I don't know. They're playing mind games right now. Okay, yeah. They're letting them. It looks like that's letting Radocek stay in front of the 38. So on the 1 to go signal, he will get the wave around. I'm not seeing heavy duty damage on that 31 machine, so this might play in his favor to try to contend for a win tonight. Very interesting. Wow, that's more interesting. Wow.
Yeah, because, right now, let's see, that's got the 45, 31, and 54. So they are all, let's see, 31's 1 lap down. No, that's going to put, wow, this is going to be interesting.
I think Lariah, he's had a lot of damage, though. Shed could get the wave around. Bourne could get the wave around. I don't think Lariah will. Lariah is actually behind these drivers. All right, I want to see what the pace car does here. Is it's the light's going to get turned off, ready to go back racing, because that will justify on everything going on track. Still, pace car lights are still turned on. There goes the 31. Or did he get the lucky dog?
Maybe he got the lucky dog?
Okay, I'm going to double check on that because I don't think that's accurate. The reason why is because usually the lucky dog is given when the pit stops happen. So where's the pit? I'm going back to check this out here. See, I seen 2 cars pass the pace car. That was Carl Shed and Michael Araya, but they still remain a lap down. I think they just got a lap back. Carl Shed actually had to slow down, so Araya was the one that actually got the lucky. Don't know if the iRacing told Radocek to pass the pace car. That could very well be a possibility. Okay, so let's just reset the actual field here that's on the lead lap contending for this win here, and that is Shane Tyrion out front. Jacob Adams is in second in the 8th. Ryan Dyson's going to line up 3rd. 4th, Nick Massey. Now, the crazy thing about this, Dave, is you're going to have Evil Motorsports versus Rubbins Racing Motorsports. And Rubbins Racing Motorsports is going to be lined up on the outside row. Evil Racing is going to be on the inside row. Walker Thomas, actually, I take that back. One of them, Ryan Dyson is not Evil Motorsports. I take that back. Sorry, it's Walker Thomas. That is. He's going to line up in 5th. Robert Kenny in 6th. And Philip Radicic is going to line up in 7th. So we'll have 7 cars on the lead lap tending for this win, at least trying to. We should get the one-to-go signal this time by the 2 drivers ahead of Shane Tyrion are lap-down drivers. That is Tom Bourne and Carl Shed, 1 lap down. Pace car lights are off. They're going to go ahead and collect this wave around, so they will be back on the lead lap. Whether they're able to keep up, I don't know. I don't think they can. They got a lot of heavy damage. And this is going to be interesting right here because Shane Tyrion's the race leader, and he has chosen the outside road. He has split up Rubbins Racing Motorsports.
Well, he probably knows that's probably one of his best ways there. Split up the teammates, so.
Yeah, and plus you have your teammate on the inside row, which is the 18 car of Walker Thomas. But I mean, he's not in position to help you at the moment. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and what you think is right on the track. All right. Well, Dave, want to pick a winner?
No, I'm not doing the broadcaster jinx.
You're absolutely positive. Okay. Well, I'd say as long as that 8 car can hold on, keep doing what he's doing, he should be okay. I would just be afraid of 3-4 drivers working outside row where you have minimum help on the bottom. But Shane Tyrion's going to be the control of the restart here, though. So it's either Shane Tyrion's going to get a nice start and jump to the inside in front of Adams. Who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, is that worth it? Because that's going to give a chance for the teammates to get back together.
He could. All right, somebody's already in the chat saying picks for the win, and I'm kind of agreeing. I see Nick Massey. One person says Adams. All right. Let's bring them down. 8 laps to go. There's no green-white checkered finishes on iRacing. iRacing doesn't have it. So with about 5 laps to go or less, we get a caution flag in that time period. That would end the race. As we are racing right now, Tyrion drops in front of the 8 of Adams. Massey, no help. He has to fall back. Other drivers are down on horsepower and trying to keep up.
Actually, I'm showing Michael Laraya, Carl Shed, and Todd Bourne still 1 lap down, so they must have been 2 laps down.
Could have been, unless my time and scoring is all messed up. Not seeing Robert Kenny getting any kind of help. Looks like Philip Radicic is going to be out of contention. No help. So, with that being said, the winner will come out of that top 5 cars.
Actually, it looks like Massey's losing the draft.
Oh, yeah, that's something you don't want to do. He's got to hold a perfect straight line as much as he can. Actually, that's I don't know. He's losing it big time now, especially in the middle of the corners. He's losing it. This might take Massey out of contention to win. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, top 4 cars, nose to tail. Shane Tyrion out front. Jacob Adams, Ryan Dyson, and Walker Thomas at top 4 lead pack. Massey has officially lost the draft. He ain't able to keep up to the top 4 drivers. He's going to have to rely on the drivers behind him who have some sort of damage. And those drivers that Massey is falling back to, is Michael Lariah, Bronson Stafford, Michael Lariah, and Robert Kenny. Carl Shedd is back there as well.
So here's the breakdown. We got 3 championship contenders in the round of 8. Shane Tyrion, Walker Thomas, Ryan Dyson. They want to get this win and in. Jacob Adams, lone man out, not in contention, but running in the top 4. We are 5 laps to go.
Well, this is going to be an interesting call. I'd say if I was Jacob Adams, I'd be getting on that radio, talking with Ryan Dyson. You wanna work with me, or so we can probably break up this evil racing motorsports? A little bit of a block. Too much of a run, though. Tyrion's going to go up high. Now he's going to go down low. He's just mirror driving right now, folks. Good move by Walker's part, but couldn't have the help to do it. The help back there. Five laps remaining at Talladega. Top 4 drivers. Nose to tail at the moment. Separated by a 10th. Other drivers back there, Nick Massey on back, are all pretty much spread out. Tyrion's going to go high. Now he's going to go low. He broke the draft. Now that caused Adams to hop out of line. Thomas is going to go with. Now we're side by side for the race lead. 4 laps remaining at Dega.
Yes, it's going to come down to these 4. Which 4? We got Ryan Dyson and Shane Tyrion on the inside. You've got Adams and Walker on the outside. Walker is in contention. Adams is not. Shane Tyrion and Ryan Dyson are in contention.
They are in contention, but I tell you what, the 8 car doesn't care. He just wants to win the race, and that would be racing for honor right there. And he's doing a whale of a job right now, as he did have Walker Thomas right behind him. Walker Thomas is going to hop in line. That would leave Adams out of contention right now. Now Adams is going to be the Lone Ranger in that back of the pack back there. Now, what is Adams going to do? What can Adams do? The top 2 drivers haven't really moved. Actually, Ryan Dyson hasn't really moved. He's just stuck behind Tyrion's bumper. Man, if you were Jacob Adams, what can you do? There's not much you can do. I mean, on the last lap, you might as well say, heck with it, go for it. I'll have to try my best. But I'm sure Ryan Dyson is going to want to try to get himself a win. I think he's just waiting until that last lap. We got 3. We're going to be coming down to 2 laps remaining here at Talladega, coming off turn number 4. And the unique thing about Talladega is, compared to its sister track, the start-finish line is not right here in the tri-oval, but all the way towards the exit of pit road right here to fill up the grandstand. Oh boy! What
now
move
the
do
question
you make?
the question is, Ryan Dyson, he's going to want that win. If he pulls out, what is Walker Thomas going to do? Walker Thomas wants that win as well. Is he going to follow Ryan Dyson, hopefully getting a good run after Ryan Dyson passes him? That's going to be the question here. But here comes Walker Thomas. He jumps out. No, he's going to drop back down as they come through turns 3 and 4. They are going to be getting the white flag at the line this time by.
All right, hold your breath, folks, for some Talladega moments here. White flag this time by. Adams is going to go with Walker. This is it. A little side drafting going on between the 2. Thomas is just trying to hold a perfect line, trying to carry some legs down the back straightaway, trying to get as much help as he can from the 8 car of Jacob Adams. So far, with not a big run that Walker had hoped. Shane Tyrion, mirror driving, holding the inside lane. Coming to the line at Talladega through the tri-oval. Looks like it's going to be Shane Tyrion taking the victory lane and will advance to the round of 4 as he wins at Talladega. Ryan Dyson unofficially so far finishes second. Walker Thomas third. Adams fourth. Nick Massey fifth. Robert Kenny sixth. And that's top 6 drivers finishing on the lead lap. Wow. Good win. It was a nice finish. Nobody wrecked coming to the line. A lot of times they do. But don't go away, folks, because we're going to be talking to the top, or try to talk to the top 3 drivers. The top 3 drivers are going to feature Shane Tyrion, Ryan Dyson, and Walker Thomas. So let me pull up some of the drivers here. Shane Tyrion. I'm going to put Dyson in the interview room here while I'm looking for Tyrion. Shane Tyrion's actually not in Discord. So Ryan Dyson is actually... So with Shane Tyrion not in Discord, double check one more time. I don't see him in Discord, but I do want to talk to Walker Thomas. My best here. It's just the everything's not cooperating with me here. But let's talk to Ryan Dyson here as I'm bringing up Thomas.
Message Jacob and ask if the two of us have worked together.
Ryan Dyson, you got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey, see you were talking to your teammates there, but hate to break it up, but hey, we weren't able to talk to the race winner of Shane Tyrion just yet. He just popped in, but we're going to talk to you first here. First off, you were right in line there, coming towards the end there. Do you think you could do anything different there, or probably just sit there in line?
I think I was a sitting duck. The only thing I think could have potentially happened is on the white flag lap, I was kind of hoping the 8 car would have gone to the inside, hung the 18 out to dry, and then the two of us could have shot around on the last lap, but I don't even think they're just with 4 cars in the pack for the win. I think that's the way it was going to be.
And it most certainly was the way it turned out. But I tell you what, you were in the mix pretty much majority of the day today. You started 12th. You were in the top 10 all day today. You even fought for the lead at times. How hard was it to try to gain a group of drivers on that higher line of the racetrack?
I think I only tried the high side once, and then from that point forward, I was just stuck to the bottom, especially the last 20, 30 laps. I don't know, it just didn't work. I don't know if it's the Cup car aero package or if it was just, I don't know. It just did not seem to want to work on the high side. Even if you had more cars out there than there was on the inner groove, it didn't seem to want to work. So I just stuck to the inside for the majority of the race, and P2 is not too bad.
It's not too bad, and it's a good finish for points-wise, because coming into Talladega, you were 20 points out of it, but this should give you a good good look entering or a good contention spot for the round of 4, which is the last race of the round of 8. It's going to happen at New Hampshire next week. And with your momentum on finishing second, how do you feel about trying to capture a victory or a consistent top 5 finish at New Hampshire?
Historically, New Hampshire has actually been one of my best tracks. Finishing wise, it's actually been better for me than Martinsville, even with scoring the win at Martinsville. So I'm feeling good about it as long as stuff goes our way in some aspects. I was really hoping for that win tonight, so the pressure was off. But I think we're in a decent spot now. But with the wreck last week, I don't think I'm sitting too great. I think I'm gonna have to go top 3 or potentially even win next week. We'll see how the points fall after tonight.
All right. Well, I don't have an updated points spreadsheet, especially on the website just yet, of Upper Edge Racing League, but I'm curious to see how this is all going to fan out, and hopefully you're not feeling too much pressure entering New Hampshire. Ryan, thanks for taking the time to come talk with us tonight, and good luck at New Hampshire next week.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
That was Ryan Dyson, folks, finishing in the 2nd position. So let's go one spot up to Mr. Shane Tyrion, who won the race tonight. And Shane Tyrion, do you have a copy?
I got you.
All right. Well, guess what? The monkey's off the back, and you can go to New Hampshire, start the race, and wreck the car because you're moving to the round of 4 Now, how pressurized were you entering this race? Even though you came in third in the championship, how pressurizing is Talladega when it comes to playoff racing?
Well, what's funny is I almost couldn't race. I didn't make qualifying. I didn't make practice because I was having issues with my daughter. She couldn't go to sleep, and I was like, "Hey
Oh,
guys, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to race this. I don't know what's going on." And then finally, I got her to lay down, and I got on literally within seconds before grid. And then so it was a little pressurized this entire race, and wondering if she was gonna wake up or not.
what was going through your mindset in that under that last caution? And you got the one to go. You're on the back stretch. What's going through your mind on what you got to do to keep your position out, keep that race lead? Because we've seen that high line didn't work out at times unless you have a big group of drivers. Ryan Dyson kind of topped on, and I definitely agree. He doesn't know if it's the cup package or not. That the high line doesn't really get going very well with a small pack of cars, but with a big pack of cars, they can carry legs down the back straightaway. What are your thoughts going through that under the last caution?
I knew I had to get off first. I was sitting there, I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" My teammates are like, "We're taking 4 tires," and I'm like, "I don't know. I think Ryan's gonna take 2, so he can get the lead." And I was like, "I'm gonna take 2." And sure, I was right. I saw Ryan take 2. I saw Jake take 2. And I was like, "Okay, Ryan's starting third. Okay, I'm gonna start on the outside since I can control the lead." And I got in front of well, not my teammate right now. It was my teammate next season, Jake. And then once we lost Nick, it kind of worked out because 2 versus 2, the inside's gonna prevail every time. So I just had to hold that yellow line the entire time, and it ended up working out.
Yeah, absolutely, and it definitely worked out for you. And I bet you were mirror driving, weren't you? Pretty much that entire time, the last about 7 laps ish, weren't you?
Oh yeah, just a little bit. I just trying to keep on the yellow line, but trying to watch behind me at the same time. It was kind of difficult.
All right, Shane, you advance to the round of 4. You can really throw New Hampshire out of it. You can go there, show up, race, and even not show up unless you necessarily have to from league officials. But let's talk about that round of 4 quickly. Michigan, Phoenix, Homestead. Is there a track that sticks out that you think that could help you out, be a championship contender when you reach to Homestead? When you reach there?
Phoenix, definitely Phoenix. I've had some good luck there, and I've had some bad luck, but majority of the time I'm fast there. But I mean, Michigan, I have to get by with at least the top 5, if anything. But once I get to Phoenix, if I can win Phoenix or finish second at least, I should be fine at Homestead because I'm pretty good at Homestead.
All right, Shane. So the pressure's off, and now you go to New Hampshire. Thank you for coming to talk with us here tonight. You advance to the Final 4, and we will see you at New Hampshire.
Thanks, guys.
That was Shane Tyrion, folks, getting the win here at Talladega. The monkey is off his back as we're going to go down to third place, and that is going to be Walker Thomas. Walker Thomas, do you have a copy?
Gotcha.
Man, what were you trying to do towards the end of the race there? I mean, you were working with pretty good with Jacob Adams, but do you think it could be the Cup cars that could be slowing down that high line momentum, unlike what you would see in the Xfinity cars or the trucks? What are your thoughts on the final stages of the laps there?
Yeah, it's most definitely the Cup cars. I mean, Suck Up just doesn't allow you to really get a big run. If we had more cars there, we definitely probably would have been able to make a shot at it. But with 2v2, basically 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside, only 4 of us total. I mean, the inside just has the advantage. So me and Jake planned out our run and timed it and got it about as good as we could go. And was just hoping maybe Dyson slipped up a little bit and didn't keep the momentum on the back of Shane and could get around him. But I mean, I'm not upset at all. Taking third place tonight is very good, and my teammate won, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, absolutely. And you come walking into the Talladega only 9 points from the championship lead. I would say on the bubble because you were tied with Joseph Tice entering this race here tonight, but now you get a third place finish. Do you feel like the pressure's off, or do you think the pressure's still on walking into New Hampshire next week as far as the points are concerned?
I've just got to walk into New Hampshire next week thinking it's almost a must-win. It's obviously not, but I can't go in there thinking, oh, I only have to finish so and this such place. I mean, I got to go in there aggressive and have good practices this week and really try to focus on getting a top 10. Probably will be my goal. New Hampshire's not my strongest track, but I feel like a top 10 will put me in a good position due to a couple of the other championship guys getting caught up in some wrecks tonight. So that really helped, and next week's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Walker. Now, you're one of the 8 drivers right now that have yet to get a victory so far. Actually, you're the only driver in the top 8 that has yet to visit victory lane this season. But you could walk into that round of 4 and not win New Hampshire, but still make the round of 4. Out of these next 4 racetracks that are left on the schedule, New Hampshire, Michigan, Phoenix, and Homestead, what track do you think could be? Do you think you could get your final win or your first win of the season at?
I feel really comfortable at both Michigan and Homestead. I have been typically faster on the mile and a halves, so I feel real comfortable with Homestead. And Michigan has always kind of fitted me pretty well. So both of those tracks I'm really looking forward to. If I do get into the Final 4, that'll be a big boost for me. Phoenix will be kind of a toss-up. I ran in another league a couple weeks ago there and was pretty decent, so I don't feel bad, but definitely Michigan and Homestead. I just feel like I just have an edge kind of on the other guys.
All right, Walker. Well, congratulations on the 3rd place finish tonight. Hopefully you're not feeling too pressured entering New Hampshire there. But you're absolutely right. You touched on it. You got to walk into that race like it's a must-win race, and that's a good confidence attitude booster right there to try to get into that Final 4. So thanks for coming to talk with us, and sorry for all the dragging up I had to do. Discord just wasn't cooperating with me as far as just dragging into the interview room. So thanks for coming to talk with us tonight, Walker.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure having you guys.
That was Walker Thomas finishing in 3rd position tonight. And now, before we close the show for the evening, let's get the finishing results on the board unofficially. Shane Tyrion's going to win tonight. Ryan Dyson will finish in 2nd place. Walker Thomas, 3rd. And believe it or not, all 3 of them drivers started outside the top 10, with Ryan Dyson starting 12th, Shane Tyrion 21st, and Walker Thomas started 22nd. Jacob Adams started 7th. He'll finish in 4th. Nick Massey will finish in 5th. Robert Kenny finishes 6th. Michael Laraya in 7th. Carl Shedd will finish in 8th. Tom Bourne in 9th. And rounding out that top 10 was Philip Radicic. Bronson Stafford in 11th. Tommy Amassi in 12th. Austin Hartenfels in 13th. Joseph Tice finishes 14th. 15th place, Corey Hoover. 16th, Joe Lawrence. So unfortunately for Hoover and Joe Lawrence, they'll need act like just like Walker Thomas, must-win scenario right there for those 2 drivers, except they're in a worse condition than Thomas. Fennelson, 7th. Michael Fennelson will finish in 17th. Justin Munsell in 18th. Jamie Dyson will finish in the 19th spot, and rounding out the top 20, Bradley Burke. Marvin Wingfield, 21st. Joshua Adams in the 88 will finish 22nd. Corey Blevins, 23rd. And Riley Grant Davis in the Chase Elliott machine tonight finishes 24th. Dave, that was a crazy Talladega race from start to finish with some crazy wrecks and some wrecks that didn't even bring out a yellow, but they still finished it clean. Now we move on to New Hampshire. Final thoughts for the evening.
It was a great race, but I'm looking forward next week. A lot of drivers need that win and in. We've got Carl Shedd. We've got Shane Tyrion. They've locked themselves into the round of 4. Who's going to be the next driver? And who's going to be the driver that's going to get in on points? So I'm actually looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week as well, because I want to really see who's going to make it. And you got a couple drivers there pretty much in a must-win scenario when we go to New Hampshire. And hey, speaking of New Hampshire, join us next week, same time, same place. Races at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time. Loudon 150 of the Upper Edge Racing League, the final race of the round of 8. Profile Machine Products Cup Series, powered by Our Expression, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, live on the Dre Broadcasting Network next week. It's race number 19 on the season, so be sure to join us next week for 150 laps at New Hampshire. I'm Tanner Sharp. This is David Everly, and we'll catch you guys next week for New Hampshire.